Someone's accusing you of
Hello there.
Even,
How you going?
take your hat off for me, please.
No, give me
Wait,
that.
Sapphire here.
That,
I gotta say,
that's
hats off to that
that's
group
the
6
map.
guy, yeah?
Hey,
There
Father,
you
what time are the cargo's coming?
When you go.
9.
Thank you.
They'll be here halfway through it.
I'm having.
Why
great
did
fun.
I not have them
When
display
you go.
people?
Thank you.
Anybody wanna go do a Big Bang for a bit of crack?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah,
ID.
let's do it.
Yeah,
Father.
ID. There you go, big boy.
That's true.
Thank you. When you go.
You just cut the line.
Sit down and make sure we're whispering.
Even.
And keep this as short
When
and
you
sweet
go.
as
Thank
can.
you.
Sorry, Mr. Judge. I won't shout loudly anymore.
Do you mind pushing me, God? What are you trying to do? Make me sit on people's knees?
We're here,
Shush,
to,
you're not
we're here
gonna
today
go.
to hear civil case 314, a lost MC versus the
Come back
LSPS.
from my head and listen up.
So have we got Defence Solicitor Tommy Tarazi representing the police,
Yes, Your Honour.
and Claimant Solicitor Mick Mack representing the lost MC?
Yes, Your Honour.
Oh, my head's gonna pop! Big Mac?
We'll begin with opening statements. Mr. Mack, would you like to begin?
Yes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the court. Today, we wish to show you all
was
the
just
carelessness, malpractice, and unprofessional approach by the Los Santos Police Service when carrying out their duties, and through doing this, the harm that they have caused to many innocent people. Today, you will hear from hard-working engineers and mechanics about the impact of their businesses due to the incorrect seizure of legal materials,
Yeah.
as well as citizens who are
Can you
still
two take a
emotionally
seat? If you haven't got any
recovering
guns
from
visible,
today's
take a seat on
from
the
events
chairs.
from this day. We'll be looking through the details of the search warrants and showing you how the LSPS failed to carry out their own procedures. We ask today that justice be done correctly.
Why are you pushing me?
And we receive the items listed in the case file returned. That's all, Your Honour.
Thank you, Mr. Mack. Mr. Tarazi.
Thank
Can I
you.
come in, please?
Good evening, everyone. The aim of our input today is literally just to prove that the warrant was issued correctly, it's been carried out correctly, and the seizure of all items listed is intact and will remain seized. The fact that legal items were seized is a implication that a lot of these items are used in the manufacture of weapons and ammunition, hence why we are contesting the return of these legal items. You'll hear that you'll see images and hear of a number of items that were recovered that were illegal, and no doubt, hopefully, we will return these legal items to ensure that no more dangerous weapons are produced and onto the streets. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tarazi. Mr. Mack, you've listed a number of witnesses on here. Which one would you like to call first?
Yes, Your Honour, we would like to call Nikolai to the stand.
Thank you.
Can we get some group 6 to open these doors, please?
Mr. Belsky, is it?
Yes.
No problem. Please take the stand.
Yeah.
And begin with the examination in chief.
Sites, so.
Mr. Belsky.
Did you hear me?
Yes, yes. Can you please state your full name for the court?
Yeah, take the suite tag.
It is Nikolai Belsky.
Is he good?
Fantastic. And how long have you been a part of the Lost MC?
Sorry.
Can you let me through, please?
I've been part of the MC for around about 2 years now.
Can I squeeze past?
What's your primary occupation?
I am head motorcycle engineer.
And where did you learn this trade?
Right, we'll get him out, yeah.
I originally learned a few skills back in hometown Russia, playing around with ladders, very common Russian vehicle. You know, learning how the engines work, the mechanics behind it, and slowly learning more skills once I joined the ZMC the last 2 years.
And how long ago have you, where did you learn this trade, sorry?
I became more of a profession shortly after I joined. Started working on motorbikes, so about maybe a year and a half.
out. If you're not gonna be escorted out, then you'll be arrested.
Can I come in, mate?
And how would you describe yourself as a member of the community, Mr. Belsky?
I like to think of myself as a
User
nice,
entered your channel.
a friendly person to talk to.
User
felt-
left your channel.
Host charity events.
Channel switched.
NHS
Microphone
blood
muted.
drive, I've done this twice. Bringing the community together for a greater cause. For the NHS helping with their medical practices and equipment for them to use to saving people's lives. Last week I helped with the park rangers protecting the charity walk for the NHS. Make sure no mountain lions were in the way.
Fantastic. We'll move on to the more solid point of the materials that were seized from the Pisswassa warehouse. What was the use
the muscle?
of these materials that were kept within the warehouse?
Yeah.
So the titanium was used for expensive high-end bolts and washers for dirt bikes. The diamonds were used for diamond cut engines, which were used for high-end expensive motorcycles, mostly ones used for shows. Steel is the most common material we were using for repairing and engineering.
Yeah, the guy must be on Whisper. I can't hear from outside. I can't be asked to get an ID.
For
So.
the bikes itself. The lead was for the batteries of the bikes, so they would run properly. And the gold was the custom parts, such as the gear shifters.
Yeah, and I get the car to come down to
We would sell a few of the gold to the stores before with the jewelry store as well on the side.
Okay, and how would you say that the seizure of these legal materials from the warehouse has affected your business?
Oh, it's very slow. It was non-exist for many weeks after the raid. People were scared. It's made us look very bad light, like criminal. The words, bad words
Get him off,
spread,
sir.
so we had very limited business for a long time. So our income was not being
Help!
Mr. Bilski, were you ever charged with any offences related to the raid of the Lost MC?
How'd I
No,
put my
I
hands
was
on?
never charged.
Was your house raided as part of the
there we
Lost
go.
MC raid?
Yes, my house was
I was
raided.
leaving, man. Don't know why
Oh,
you're.
no, no. What was the damage caused
he
to your
hit me
house
first.
and any items that were missing?
He
I
literally said,
had
"Hey, bitch," and he hit me.
no missing items, but I had furniture and my property was tossed around, mattress upside down. So it was quite destroyed, and I had to spend a lot of time putting it all back together.
Fantastic. That's all for now, Your Honour.
Thank you, Mr. Mack. Mr. Shirazi, would you like to carry out cross-examination?
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Bolesky.
Hello.
Whereabouts is the Lost MC clubhouse?
On the property, when you go looking at the gate, it is a building on the left.
Okay. And what street's that on?
I'm not so good with the streets names.
Okay. Just for the benefit, Mirror Park Boulevard, I think it's on. The clubhouse, as you enter the gate, is it on the left or the right?
The clubhouse is on the left.
Okay.
The garage is on the right.
And the garage is on the right, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
I request
Both of these
permission to
buildings
enter the
are
courtroom.
within a locked gate.
I'm a lawyer.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And who is responsible for entry and exit of this gate?
Any of the lost mechanics who have the code to open the gate.
Okay. So
I dare you to
it's
let me
Lost
in.
MC members that come in and out of this compound and this gate, yeah?
Who have the code to the gate, yes.
Okay. Does anyone else have access to this gate or the compound?
Whoever has the code to the gate can get in.
And who would that be, apart from Lost MC members?
Anybody who knows the code can come in. Majority is lost members, old lost members.
Okay. What I'm just trying to clarify, Mr. Bolesky, is there anyone else, to your knowledge, other than Lost MC members, that have access to that gate?
Yeah, I have some business to attend to.
To my knowledge, no. But I haven't been around for last 2 years. Anyone could have had the code before my time.
And what's your position in the Lost MC?
What? Oh, well, I ain't doing
He's the head
anything, am I?
engineer.
What am I doing?
Okay, okay. Have you ever been in trouble with the police before, Mr. Bolesky?
I've had police talking to me, but nothing serious. No, nothing written down.
In your time on the island so far, have you ever been arrested for any firearms offences?
No.
Have you ever been charged with any firearm offences?
No.
And have you ever been caught in possession of any firearms offences?
No.
Okay, okay. So, obviously, in the exhibits that we have, there's a number of items, KWR 1 through to 5. Police have obviously done a raid on the compound itself, and they've found a number of items. Obviously, a lot of them been legal, and some illegal items. You mentioned, Mr. Bolesky, that it's only Lost MC members, to your knowledge, that have access to the gate. The clubhouse is on the left and the garage is on the right. You mentioned yourself that you're a friendly, upstanding member of the community. Why would a friendly, upstanding member of the community have in excess of a mass amount of ammunition and weapons in their garage?
In the garage, I have no knowledge of anything like this in the garage.
Okay. Just to confirm, is there just 2 buildings in this compound, or is there 3?
There are 2.
Okay. So you've seen the evidence on the case file, Mr. Bolesky, correct?
I have seen the police evidence, yes.
The images from the raid, yeah?
Yes.
And do you recognise the safe in them images?
Yeah, I know the location.
Okay. But to your knowledge, you know nothing about weapons and ammunition that was in there, no?
No, I never touched this, no.
You've never touched any of that?
No.
Okay.
It's not mine. I
Do
don't
you
touch
know...
other people's stuff.
Okay. So why would a motorcycle club that are mechanics have access to all this caliber of weapons? Are you planning on starting some kind of war?
Objection, Your Honour. He's leading him into answering a question he doesn't know the answer to.
Sustained. Next question, please, Mr. Twazi.
To your knowledge, Mr. Bolesky, do you know if any of your
Photos of the court get down off the side.
sorry, Mr. Mack, was that you?
No, that was somebody outside.
Apologies.
Acting Superintendent Tadworth.
Sorry, apologies. Mr. Bolesky, sorry, I'll continue. To your knowledge, do any of the Lost MC members use firearms or weapons at all?
Objection, asked and answered, Your Honour. He's already stated he has no knowledge at all of the firearms.
He's already answered the question, Mr. Twazi. Move on, please.
I'm not asking if he has any knowledge, I'm asking if his members do.
He has absolutely no knowledge, therefore he has no knowledge of who owns them.
You did say before he had no knowledge of them, so please move on.
Mr. Bolesky, I think that's pretty much all from me, so thank you very much for your time.
Oh, thank you.
Mr. Matt, would you like to carry out re-examination?
No, Your Honour.
Mr. Bolesky, could you please take a seat for me?
Oh, yes, thank you.
Mr. Mack, do you want to call another witness?
Yes, we would like to call Scrappy SA to the stand.
Mr. SA, please take the stand.
I can smell you through the window.
Mr. Scrappy.
Consider my booth if you want, Clive.
Fisher and
No.
Lucien.
Mr. Mack, you feel free to proceed.
Yes. Mr. Essie, can you please state your full name for the court?
Scrappy, Essie.
Fantastic. And how long have you been a part of the Lost MC?
Just over 8.5.
And what is your primary occupation?
I'm a motorcycle engineer.
Okay. Where did you learn this trade?
Well, I've learned it through my childhood, spending most of my time on scrapyards and repair centers. Grew up around it. Most of my family was in it, so it's just one of them things that came natural, I guess.
How would you describe yourself as a member of the community, Mr. Essie?
I say I'm quite an upstanding member. I've helped a lot of the Lost MC blood runs out of our repairs for stranded people on the motorways, highways. So yeah, quite an upstanding member.
Okay. And how would you say the seizure of these legal materials from the warehouse has affected your business?
Well, it's affected us quite badly. We had a few show bikes that needed going out for just after the raid happened, so we couldn't finish those. We had multiple other orders that we couldn't complete due to not having the parts. Financially, it hit us quite bad, and we also pretty much ruined our reputation. People don't want to deal with places that are getting raided randomly.
Okay. Were you ever charged with any offences relating to the raid of the Lost MC Clubhouse?
No.
And was your house raided as part of this
It
raid
was,
as well?
yes.
Okay, and what was the damage caused to your house? And were there any items seized from your house?
So the door was off the hinges.
To the other side of the courtroom.
The place was left in a real bad state. As for seizures, I don't know what they took or what people took who walked in after, because they never really locked up the place, left the door off. So yeah, well.
That's all for now, Your Honour.
Thank you, Mr. Mack. Mr. Terezi, would you like to carry out cross?
Hello, Mr. Esse. How are you?
Good.
Lovely. Mr. Esse, forgive me, I didn't hear. How long have you been a part of the Lost MC? I believed it was us. I didn't hear. Sorry.
Just over a year and a half.
Okay. Lovely. Thank you. And the place we are talking about is the one we clarified earlier, Mirror Park Boulevard Street. You content with that?
Yes.
Okay. To your knowledge, Mr. Esse, who has access to the compound?
Members and mechanics, old members who are no longer with us. You're saying access, so people who break in like every other week.
No, I just mean access to the gate. I'm guessing it's code locked. I've not really been up there myself, really, so I'm not too sure.
Yeah, it is code locked, but it still gets broken into. But yeah, like I said, old members, current members, mechanics, people we do business with, partners.
Okay. Are you aware of any of the firearms that were obviously found in one of the buildings?
Nope.
No knowledge of them whatsoever?
Not until after the raid.
Okay.
There's only one person in there. Oh no, there's shit. What?
Please step away from the windows.
Mr. Terezi?
Oh, I'm getting a call. I didn't get.
Sorry, hello?
Hello?
Oh, apologies. I didn't hear your answer. Sorry, Mr. Esse. I think I just dropped out slightly there.
So no, not until after the raid.
Okay, so just to clarify, you had no knowledge of the weapons and ammunition found in there, no?
Objection, Your Honour, asked and answered. He's now asked the same question in a different manner, 3 different occasions. Or 3 different ways, apology. He has no knowledge of the firearms or the ammunition found.
Overruled, he was just clarifying the initial response. Please continue, Mr. Terezi.
I believe that's everything from me. I just wanted to clarify them points. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Terezi. Mr. Essie, would you like
Yes,
to take a seat?
please. Thanks, lads.
Mr. Mack, your next witness, please.
Yes, we would like to call Lucien Taylor to the stand.
Please proceed.
Mr. Taylor, thanks for coming down today. Just a few questions for you. How long have you been a
Um,
part of the Lost MC?
It will be a year next month.
Oh, congratulations. What is your primary occupation in this organization?
That I tried to on
It's kind of a split role. I'm a motorcycle engineer, and I also work at all the businesses.
No problem. And where did you learn this trade?
It's more like a family trade. When I was very young, my father, my grandfather, my brothers are all they all have into their cars, like racing and off-road racing, like demolition derby sort of things. And just from being around that, I learned engine, like how to fix an engine, and just progress from there.
And how long have you, in years, been in this trade?
Over 20 now.
And over that time, how would you describe yourself as a member of the community?
I would say in very high regards. Done a lot for this community. Helped a lot of newcomers who just got off the train, from the planes, get established, get even work. Helped out friends when they're needed. You know, quite reliable in that regard.
Right. How did the seizure of these legal materials from the warehouse affect your business?
When it comes to the shops that I own, and when it comes to actually getting motorcycles out and doing custom work, heavily, it held back a lot of orders when it came to food. I do a lot of food orders by the shops. When it comes to the custom orders on motorcycles and making new parts for motorcycles, it pushed back quite heavily. We're still not even caught up with some of the custom works.
And did this situation affect your everyday life after?
Yeah, quite a bit actually. Every day, when it comes to work, it's always trying to catch up now. It's about stress. It's caused me and my brothers and my family. It's numbers and words can't explain.
Understandable. And after the raid, were you ever charged with offences relating to it?
No.
And was your house subsequently raided as part of the Lost MC raid?
Yes, it was violated by the police.
And was there damage caused to your house, and were items missing when you returned home?
The door was broken in. They broke it. They turned everything upside down, took out the cupboards, threw everything across the floor, ripped open my bed. Had to get a new bed because they tried to find things in the mattress that weren't even there. Like, I don't even go there anymore. I've been staying in hotels ever since.
Understandable. Thank you very much. I know this is probably very difficult for you. No more questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Terezi, would you like to carry out cross?
Hello, Mr. Taylor, you alright?
Yeah.
Lovely. Do you have access to the Lost MC compound on Mirror Park Boulevard?
As a member of the Lost MC, yes.
Lovely. And you obviously are aware there was a number of legal and illegal items found within the, I read it say a garage or a warehouse. Are we speaking about the same thing here?
I'm aware of the legal stolen assets, yes, and I had no idea about anything else.
And you yourself, have you been into this building where the legal materials were taken from and illegal ones?
I've been in both, and supposedly the illegal ones, yeah.
Okay. And how often would you go into that building?
Which one?
The one where the legal and illegal items were found.
I go into both buildings often.
Go into both buildings often, yeah?
Yeah.
So just for clarity, where were the legal items found?
In the garage.
In the garage. Okay, and as you enter the compound, is that on your left or your right?
You're right.
Okay. And the illegal items?
I don't know where they were found.
Okay, okay.
Don't know. Never heard of them before.
No problem. Have you ever been in trouble with the police before, Mr. Taylor?
A couple of parking tickets. That's it. Never.
Anything related to firearms?
No.
Possession or charge with any firearms related offences?
Nothing.
Okay, okay. Right, that's it from me. Your Honour, thank you very much, Mr. Taylor.
Mr. Taylor, if you'd like to have a seat. Your next witness, please, Mr. Mack.
Your Honour, we would like to call Cardella Cuervo to the stand.
It's not here at the moment. Nope.
Is that witness present?
I don't believe Cardella's made it tonight, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, she's not present.
It's okay. Next one.
We'd like to call Fisher Hendry to the stand.
Sex officer.
Okay, please proceed.
Thank you for attending today, Mr. Hendry. Were you present at the time of the last MC raid?
Yes, I was.
Why were you called down to this raid on that day?
We were called to transport the evidence that the police were confiscating to various locations around the city.
How long were you present at that day at the raid?
I personally was present for about 3.5, 4 hours.
Have you attended many raids previously conducted by members of the LSPS?
Yes, I've done one other in the past, I believe.
What member of the service was issuing the instructions on the raid?
To my knowledge, I can't remember.
Where were you within the compound when the raid was taking place?
I was guarding the front of the compound and my vehicle that was being loaded with the evidence.
Who was giving you instructions while guarding the front gate?
My immediate command, Tommy Love.
Was there any point throughout the raid of those 3 hours where you identified?
Can we collect that as DNA?
I don't understand the question.
Were you identified as a Group 6 member by either public or police service?
Do you want to pick up the knife?
Well, yeah, yes, I would have been because I was in my full uniform, as you see here.
If so, do you know at what time period someone mentioned it to you, or is that off to your own basis?
Yeah, that's just off my own basis.
One more final question for you. Are you familiar with the LS search warrant policy?
No.
Thank you very much. No more questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Tarazi, would you like to carry out cross?
Your Honour, I've got no questions for Mr. Henry. That's all.
Mr. Hendry, you can resume your post.
Thank you.
Your next witness, please, Mr. Mack.
Your Honour, I would like to call Kevin Wright to the stand.
Is DI Wright here with us today?
I don't think so.
Is Mr. Wright not showing up?
I think he's got some issues elsewhere.
He's not there, no.
Mr. Mack, could you approach the stand for me?
Not on my hat, mate.
Boy, is that illegal now? Looks like a public space officer, yeah? I'm sorry?
Behind the what? And why is that? I'm sorry.
Choking on
Huh? I don't understand what you.
Perhaps recess and chambers.
Yeah, we'll do a recess.
Big. I heard Alistair.
Ladies and gentlemen, the court will enter a
I'm
brief
sorry.
recess for the next 10 minutes. We
I haven't watched recess in years.
11 minutes past 9.
Went for a smoke. Thank you.
Judge me.
I was standing there.
I'm going to happily watch you get sacked and what I
Thank you for being respectful.
lads, is it alright to smoke here? Or can we...
Did you have water?
You can move away a wee bit. Just
There's only group 6 members here. There's a prisoner with a phone. He's just phoned me. His name's Jeff Long.
Get down off the bus, last
He's
chance.
just phoned me. He's in possession of contraband in prison.
Move back onto the pavement.
You're the one coming to me saying you are arresting me for harassment.
Oh yeah, you're off there, thank you.
Leave me alone.
Hey, officer, I'd like to make a complaint.
The no mask policy for the media.
You carry on, you'll get next public order, mate.
Oh, hang on, you're coming to me. What the?
And Charles Cotton.
Welcome to the bloody fire.
Always happens, mate. Every court case, it fucking happens.
Is that man smoking in the courtroom?
Who's smoking in the courtroom?
Oh, here we go.
Here comes Robocop.
Here comes.
Harder. Which one is just harder?
Man's ready to fucking arrest someone. That's who he is. Jesus Christ, calm down.
Which one is smoking harder?
No one's smoking.
Which one's smoking?
Sounds like
No,
fun.
do not touch me,
This
dog.
man back here, though.
Are you
That
drinking
man-
beer in court?
Look, this man over here.
The officers are
He was
fucking
smoking.
smoking.
The officer over there was smoking.
What the fuck?
He looks like Anthony.
Right, arrest the
Gotta
officer.
call the firefighters if he's smoking.
Are you drinking
Excuse me.
alcohol? Where's Rachel?
Your ID.
Hey, buddy.
Huh?
Who's
Take your hat
Rachel?
off too.
What's up?
Sorry?
Irish woman, I just heard.
Can you take your hat off? Show me your ID.
I'm not Rachel.
Well,
Show
actually,
ID.
Yo, buddy.
I can't
Can't
be.
get in without ID.
He's wasted.
Mate, what are you drinking?
Hey.
He needs to go in.
Fruit smoothies.
Right, come on. No, the one next to him.
My name's Jonathan.
It's a glass bottle.
Hello.
Lady in the
It's a
pink.
fruit smoothie.
You don't appear to be wearing correct and appropriate dress for a court. Please go and get your attire changed. Thank you.
We need to have ID.
She's actually dressed perfectly fine. I think.
You can move
close over here, love.
To leave now.
Yes, a pervert. Fantastic. You must be
Hey, whoa, whoa,
Your ID now?
a balding pervert.
Firearms.
Don't be a Debbie Downer.
Firearms.
No, you're gonna end up spending some time in a police van if you don't get yourself changed. Thank
Can
you
I
very
get on the
much.
back of the van with her, please?
Oh, sorry, another pervert. Great.
Clive, is that you?
Oh, my fault.
A holy pervert.
This fella's been drinking.
I'm allowed to.
Oh.
How you keeping, big man?
This fella here, look.
Upstairs, mate. Over here. Blue suit.
alright.
On your right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Joe.
Hi, Haley.
Look, mate, how did your fashion show go?
Oh my god, that's a court case.
What did you say?
Fashion show?
Haley.
Look at him, he's drinking
Goodbye, yes.
drinking alcohol.
Excellent.
I don't see any of these
Where are
his
you?
hands doing for it.
If you fall back so we can get
Maybe
past.
one day I have another one.
Behind you.
Sorry.
I just saw his hands like by his waist.
Mac?
No.
Wait, Mac, where are you?
How you been, Ryan?
Okay.
Are you under the influence?
You're not asking the right person.
Say that again.
Hey, Haley, let John.
Am I allowed in?
What's up? Your ID?
Sorry, I was just yanking your ponytail.
Your ID, pal?
Right, come on, let's go outside, come on.
I appreciate you a lot.
Let's
I've
go
now
outside.
pushed everything. This, I'm
Put your
fat.
hands up for
I'm
just so I can
sorry.
check
I
the
need to
pocket.
lose weight.
She's got no alcohol
I'm
in it.
sorry.
Your ID?
I am very fat.
You're not.
I saw.
Shut up, Liam.
No.
I would like to make an announcement. I am looking for donations for the chapel roof. My PayPal is 53.
Jay.
Just so he's all aware.
5
Chapel
tree.
roof.
No one asked.
Jay.
Chapel roof is very, very bad at the
Father
present
said you
moment.
look
in time.
9th of September.
I think he wants to get
Here's
in
the
your
door.
pants.
Such a
good fucking time,
Pardon?
man. That is amazing.
Yeah, buddy.
That is a great date.
What's up?
It's not lit.
Were you just drinking
Oh, you alright,
alcohol?
lad?
It's not
That's Matthew, is it? What's going on, Matthew?
Yeah,
Do
Matthew.
you mind
You
if I have a quick look in your pockets just to check?
I did.
Your shoes are
Okay.
gorgeous.
Well, unfortunately,
I'm feeling horny.
alcohol
Thank you.
and smoking on these premises are banned.
Well, I've not been doing either, so.
No, good, yeah.
Thank goodness Hardwick's closed, otherwise there wouldn't be this many. You're not getting yourself checked.
She's got a fucking
eyes
on you, lad.
I'm not letting you look in my
Oh, Jack.
pockets.
What?
That's a real
You feeling
shame.
your missus? You can't be having that.
Are you
I'll
taking
kick off, mate.
No, mate.
I'll go mental.
Just fucking
Oh,
boring.
no. Start swinging dicks in
Kick
court.
off your Velcros.
I'll go mental.
Who's swinging dicks in
Excuse me?
court?
Who are you squaring up to, man?
Yes, please.
No swinging dicks in court.
Oh, that's recess.
Liam's in
Part-time
NHS now.
bricklayer.
But he still doesn't know how to.
Part-time shopkeeper.
What's your name and badge number, mate?
Follow me. Shots fired.
Fuck off.
No, I'm not following you.
En route, it's round the back.
Shots fired.
No, it's just the rain. That's just
CFC
the rain.
Okay.
Hello, Alex.
That's your
Jesus. What is going on? God damn.
Agent 47, but you're normally doing the full executions, eh?
What's your name and badge
If you're looking
number?
more shots, head on down to Bahama Mamas. The cheapest shots in town.
So, just show me what Calvi is. I can't hear you over everyone else.
Agent 47, don't call me. Twin Sparrow, right?
Noted.
Twin Sparrow, not Jack Sparrow.
No.
Oh my god.
Hey, don't continue to cook us.
I had a hoodie on. I had to quickly.
Sorry, you just wound me up.
Yo, Chadwick, can you say it's locked down so you can enter it?
God bless you, Norman.
Yeah, units, good to open the courtroom back.
Okay, we'll resume the case. Mr. Mack, if you'd like to call the substitute witness.
Yes, we'd like to call Kate Anderson to the stand.
Hey, what's
Mr.
going
Anderson.
on here, lads?
It's the return of the Mac. Sorry, Oscar.
Hey.
Mr. Jones.
Continue.
You know the score, mate.
Marcus, I've got no doubt, mate.
Please state your full name for the court.
No doubt in my mind.
Kate Anderson.
And Kate, what is your position at the LSPS?
No, I didn't even see you there.
I can't see
I'm a detective inspector within the CID.
Are you aware
You come
of who
through,
applied for the warrant to the raid of the Lost MC compound?
Did you not hear me talking to you outside?
Who applied for the warrant?
Yes.
Objection, hearsay.
Hello?
Did you not hear me talking to you outside?
No.
Wasn't any of the
No, I
solicitors.
didn't, mate.
I can confirm it wasn't
No.
us.
It was some random.
Carry on.
Could you
I'm a
put your
solicitor.
answer there?
I was not aware who applied for the warrant, no.
And what was your position in this raid?
I was in a senior position, however, I was not involved in the planning.
Are you familiar with the LS search warrant policy and procedures?
Yes.
Have I got what keys? No, I don't, mate.
At the time of conducting the search, were you aware that the warrant was approved only for the facility known as the Lost MC Clubhouse?
No.
Sorry.
Were you shown the warrant before entering the premises?
No.
Were you given any details about the warrant or the execution of the warrant?
Some details, but not the entirety of the details of the warrant, no.
So what details were you given?
That we need to search for the storage or the safes where they stored what
Is she
was
been
warrant
drinking or
for.
something?
And search where? Where would that be? Where were you told to search?
The entire compound.
The entire compound. Okay. If we can refer to document 2 on the evidence, we'll see on the warrant that it's stated for the Lost MC Clubhouse. Can you explain why the LSPS continued the search onto the warehouse owned by a separate company positioned next to the clubhouse?
No, I cannot explain, since I was not aware of the entirety of the warrant.
Okay. Were you aware after conducting the search?
No, since the search and conducting the entirety of the transportation was leading far into the night. 7 hours, I believe.
According to the report ID 20096, 208 diamonds were seized. Is that correct?
Which one again? Can you repeat?
Yes, the report after the raid, the report ID 20096, states that 208 diamonds were seized. Is that correct?
Since I have only briefly read the report right now, and it was rather long ago, I cannot confirm or deny. I need to read it myself.
Okay, well, I'll tell you that it does state that the diamonds were taken as part of this raid. If the court can refer to Section 9 of the evidence, these diamonds were also shown in the after photo of the search. According to the search warrant policy, we have to upload a before and after photo. However, the diamonds appear to be in the after photo. Can you explain why these were seized after the search had been complete?
No, because I was not aware of the content of the warrant. Since the warrant is needed, or the text and justification of the warrant is needed to see what we can seize.
Yeah, Anderson,
Okay,
I believe the question wasn't in relation to the use of the warrant. The question itself is in relation to the search warrant policy, which is found on the court website. Could you talk to that, please?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Mr. Mack?
Yes, you know, these diamonds were shown in the after photo of the search. Can you explain why these were seized after the search had been complete, even though it does state, which you said you were familiar with, in the LS search warrant policy and procedures, that before and after photo must be taken? However, it says on report ID 20096 that the diamonds were seized. Why were they? Why were they taken after the search was complete?
I cannot explain. No, I cannot.
Okay, no problem. Does this mean that the search records collated by the LSPS are inaccurate?
Cannot answer.
Okay. Whose decision was it to call Group 6 in for transport?
It's rather loud right now. Can you repeat the question?
Yes, of course. Whose decision was it to call Group 6 in for transport of the goods seized?
I believe it was Kevin Wright's decision in cooperation with the CTSFOs and firearms as well, since they were assigned for the protection and the length of the raid.
Okay, are you aware that the approved warrant stated that the only persons allowed to accompany the LSPS on this search were any Supreme Court justice or government member?
Nope.
Okay. Just give me 2 seconds, sorry. Considering this information, why were Group 6 called to assist?
For the transport of the seized items.
For the transport.
Move, ponytail.
Okay, and it was to accompany the search, or just
No,
okay.
just the transport.
Just the transport, no problem. Your Honour, that is all for now, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mack. Mr. Terezi, do you have any questions for Cross?
Just one. Hello, Kate. You okay?
Hello, thank you.
I just want to confirm, just from what was spoke about earlier, just your role in this was literally just to conduct the search as directed by DI, right? Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
And you wasn't involved in any of the planning, preparation, or application of said warrant?
That's correct.
Lovely. That's all for me, Jon.
Thank you, Mr. Terezi. Ms. Anderson, if you'd like to resume your post.
Thank you very much.
Let's say black and pepper.
Do you have any further witnesses you want to call?
Use your phone.
Yes, Your Honour, we would like to call Connor Great to the stand.
Mr. Great, are you here?
Yeah, I've had him a few times.
Excuse me, pardon me.
Let his ego go true.
What the fuck is you running?
Freeze.
Mr. Great.
Hello.
Are you currently a serving police officer?
For the last 3 weeks or so, I've been suspended from my role after a use of force decision that was made on the 23rd of May this year, pending court case tomorrow.
Okay, at the time of the raids against the Lost MC, Were you a serving police officer? Yes.
I was indeed.
And what is your rank at the LSPS or former rank?
It was the Chief Inspector of Tactical Operations Department.
Were you involved in the Lost MC Clubhouse raid?
What part of it?
Which parts were you involved, if you were involved?
I was simply involved in the securing and maintenance of a safe working environment for officers conducting the search and the raid on the evening.
Okay. Does that include within the compound, or are you talking about?
Yes, so our brief was to go in to basically make sure there was no threats or any dangers towards officers or any people within the entire compound that's situated on, I believe Mr. Teresi said it was Mirror Park Boulevard or Avenue.
Okay. And during this brief, were you shown the warrant?
I can't actually remember. I don't want to mislead the court. I do remember CID being very closed about the raid. I think we found out maybe 10 minutes before who it was we were actually raiding. They seemed to be adamant about leaks and things like that. They kept it very close knit.
Okay. You said that you were securing the compound and the road outside. Were you briefed on any part of where within the compound that the raid was taking place?
Like I said, we were told to go in and secure the whole compound.
Okay. Did you apply for the warrants to raid the Lost MC members' houses?
I did indeed.
Ooh. And did you carry out these warrants?
I did indeed. Well, the vast majority of them.
Okay. Being one of the senior officers, were you taking charge of a team on that day?
On what day?
On the day of the house raids.
Please stay behind the bush, please.
Objection, Your Honour. I believe this court case is in relation to the warrant issued on the Lost MC compound. There's nothing detailed in this case file about warrant on houses or any kind of searches of houses.
Your Honour, I believe the raids, as Mr. Great will probably tell you, came under the Lost MC compound raid. It is part of it, therefore
they were
this
separate.
is relevant.
Just to back with that, if that was the case, then surely information relating to these searches on houses and raids should be documented in this case file or a separate case file if that's what we want to talk about.
I mean, we've been speaking about the house raids.
Gentlemen, we'll not engage in a back and forth, thank you.
Mr. Mack, anywhere on this disclosure are the individual house raids listed, aside from...
Yes, they are.
I probably asked for
whereabouts for me?
Just let me double check.
What's that?
Jesus. I can answer this, and Mr. Max, while he's checking that. We were unable to list the records of the searches because there was no records made. However, if you look at the details of the accusation, it does state that there was no reports made for them, and it lists the names of the people involved.
Yes, which is what we are currently questioning.
Thank you. I'll allow this line of questioning in that case.
Okay, Mr. Great.
Funny joke.
While carrying out these raids, do you provide sufficient breaks to your officers carrying out these duties?
What raids? Are we bouncing back and forth
Please
between the
move
compound
behind
and
the
the
hedge.
houses, or?
I said raids, just in both raids.
I mean, yeah, wherever we can.
Okay.
It wasn't my duty on that evening to be scheduling the breaks, it must be said.
Okay. Were you hungry?
All of you, I need you to move behind the hedge now, please.
Not at the
We
start.
can't hear it from behind the hedge, so...
Alright, everybody, move away from the building, please.
Okay, not at the start, so you're hungry towards the end, is that correct?
We're staying quiet.
Yeah, well, hunger
What's
is an
the
actual
problem?
progression over a period of time.
What's the problem, officer? We're staying quiet. What's the problem?
How did you combat this hunger?
Well, we brought 150 smoothies with us.
Yeah, but we want to enter the court case, so we can't.
People shut up outside.
Are you talking to me, sir? Please step behind the hedge, yes. Oh, sorry.
Please continue.
Yeah, we brought, I think it was about 150 smoothies with us. Obviously, with the amount of officers that we had and the length of time that the raid went on for, those quickly depleted, and officers found themselves to be feeling quite fragile and frail.
And to which action was taken?
Fuck is there so many people for?
Is there any reason why the smoothies were missing from the Lost MC clubhouse.
Just a minute, Mr. Mac. Can someone deal with that person that's stood outside the window? Just get him away.
Yeah, could you let me out?
Mr. Mack, I'm not just going to stand idly by and let my officers drop dead from hunger and starvation. First course of action was to try and get someone to go and fetch smoothies from shops nearby, to which case no one did. And then an officer approached me, you know, it was something out of these UNICEF adverts, you know, it was about to collapse.
Okay. Sorry, continue.
In which case I'd...
Dolphins.
He went kind of bumbling into the bar. There was a gentleman behind the bar who, I don't know his name, but I believe Mason alluded to the fact that he had to tell him to stop handing out smoothies after the raid. And the gentleman, he said he wasn't going to let us starve on him, which to his credit was very, very humble.
Okay. Are you familiar with the LS search warrant policy and procedures, Mr. Gray?
I'd like to think so.
I'd like to think so. After
Breaking
the raids,
no law, standing on this bush.
After the raids were carried out on all the properties,
I'm trying to get a good view, I can't see.
were the reports uploaded to the Police National Database?
They were not.
And why were they not?
Due to the aforementioned, I don't know how you say it, but the way CID approached it is they were very paranoid about anything going into the sort of semi-public police domain regarding the Lost MC.
I've been assaulted! What the fuck? Ah!
Shut up, Johnny!
Ow!
mate! Ah!
So the reports were not uploaded due to the CID being paranoid. Was this ever cleared with any judiciary official?
I do believe there were some.
Derek, get your phone out, film this. Get your phone out.
Mr. Great, let's check to the facts.
Officer, I'd like to be released, please.
I can't hear myself think at the minute. These cunts outside, Manger.
I've just been detained for no reason.
Can the people outside be arrested for 1,000 months each if they do continue?
Remain quiet.
Please continue.
Yeah. So the incident reports were made. They were shown to CID command.
Is something wrong with you?
I believe also a member of the judiciary or two. I can't remember who. I don't want to speculate due to the length of time this was, but it was definitely cleared with the judiciary. There was no way they would let 17 house raids go without a report being written.
I completely agree.
It was then passed over to the CID officers who were or had stated that they were then going to work on individual arrest warrants for the arrest of Lost MC members off the back of both the clubhouse raids and the individual house raids, albeit the house raids not yielding many illegal items. None of these arrest warrants were ever made, and
come on,
to be honest, I think bar the road crime team's arrest and questioning of Frank Latank, as a result of their own endeavours that evening, I don't think there was ever any official arrest made in connection with the hundreds of millions of pounds worth of guns and other illicit items seized from the club. And yeah, to be honest, that's something that still quite disappoints myself and others to this day.
Yes.
Fantastic. That is all, Your Honour. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mack. Mr. Therese, do you have any questions for Klaus?
I do not. Not from me. I'll see you tomorrow, Mr. Grip.
Look forward to it.
Thank you. Mr. Mack, do you have any more witnesses?
We do not, Your Honour.
Prison visits are quite fun.
Mr. Therese, do you have any witnesses you'd like to call?
I do not. No.
Okay. We will enter a short recess of 10 minutes again, and if all the facts are straight, then we'll proceed to closing statements. Thank you.
That gentleman is extremely loud.
What? Hey, yo!
Again, voice kink activated.
Right, folks, if we can take our seats, start to quiet down.
Okay. John and John are fucking rats.
Yeah.
Amen.
I shot John and John in the head.
Let me in!
Okay.
Ah!
We'll proceed to closing statements. Mr. Mack, if you'd like to proceed.
Mate, be quiet.
Stop Genji.
Okay.
Sorry about taking
In
your
closing, it is the claimant's belief
Here
that the
you go. Here's my
LSPS
number.
have abused their powers to search while conducting this warrant, which resulted in the seizure of goods from a property of which the LSPS did not have an approved warrant to search. In doing so,
One more,
the
bro.
LSPS have also failed to properly
Bro,
record
one more.
the search and seizure
Come
of
on,
these
Jay.
goods and discovered during the examinations of this evening. Throughout
Couldn't
this
search
case, there has been several failings from the LSPS,
But I literally went out for a
including the
cigarette.
seizure of legal goods,
Shut
failing to
the
properly
fuck up.
record, allowing a
Come on, G.
non-government entity to accompany the LSPS in these searches and in the transport of this evidence, and the search of a property not defined or known as the Lost MC
Mate, I need you
compound.
to leave the area now.
It is our belief
You look
that
like a
our
BTEC
clients have
police
stood here
officer.
tonight and shown
Mate, I
that
need
these
you to leave your
goods
disturbing
were used
call.
for legal reasons,
Yeah, 'cause I went out for a
including the
cigarette and
building,
got told I could come back in
upgrading,
and now I'm not allowed
maintenance
in.
and repair of
You've
motorcycles.
missed the cut-off time, mate. I need
I
you
was
to
Their
leave.
told I
ability
was
to
allowed
do
back in, I
so
was going
has
out for
been
a cigarette.
vastly affected by the seizure of these goods from the Pisswasser warehouse. A portion of this work was carried out. Even police solicitors were unable to distinguish the difference
Right.
between these buildings when inquiring about firearms that our clients have no knowledge of and were never arrested or charged with. Based on this, the claimants, the Lost MC, would seek that the LSPS return the legal goods seized from them, allowing them to repair the massive amount of damage done to their legal businesses, their reputations, and above all else, their lives. Simply, the LSPS has not fulfilled their duty to the city of Los Santos and has failed to abide by the procedures set out for search warrants within the Los Santos court policies, within which they were unable to keep a proper and complete search records. There were 0 arrests made based on the contents of these searches. However, the legal citizens within the Lost MC were stripped of the goods they needed to continue with their businesses and lives. We ask today that justice be done right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mack. Mr. Tracy.
Thank you. So in closing, this warrant was executed on the premises known as the Lost MC Clubhouse. That premises is obviously, as we all know, within a confined wall with a gate that is only accessible, as members have stated, by Lost MC members. As a result of this warrant being searched, we can clearly see that there has been a vast amount of items that have been recovered, ultimately resulting in police being there for a number of hours, in excess of 5 or 6 altogether, I believe. As a result of the search, we can see from the exhibits that are documented in accused and claimant disclosure that there is legal items and there is also illegal items. Lost MC members that have been up here today have had access to this warehouse, but have claimed that they have no knowledge of these illegal weapons. We can see in the exhibits that have been provided, specifically specifically KWR1.
Can you stay behind the hedge?
There is a number of illegal items in there, weapons and ammunition. In exhibits 4, KWR4 and KWR5, we can clearly see some form of crafting station which houses a number of weapons on its wall and attached to the billboard of this crafting facility. In the claimant disclosure, item 3, they have a PIBWASA agreement. Sentence 2 clearly states that PIBWASA Incorporated will allow John Pope and his club, the Lost MC, access to this warehouse. Lost MC members have also confirmed in this court case this evening that them only have access to this compound itself and they have access to the code.
So that's not true, Mr. Cullen. They have said several business partners and other members of the community have access.
I would appreciate you don't interrupt your learned friend there, unless you're checked.
That's fine. That's fine, thank you. 5 said that Lost MC members have access to the clubhouse and associated business partners. It's to our belief that the Lost MC members are fully aware of this weaponry that is placed within that warehouse. The fact that they currently have a lease agreement from PIBWASA for the warehouse that, let me just clarify, was signed only by John Pope. It's not signed by a PIBWASA representative. The legal items that are held within this warehouse, there is a vast majority. Whilst we don't have anything official to document what is used in the manufacturing, crafting and production of weapons and ammunition, it's of our strong belief that it is
Objection,
legal.
that's speculation, and if you don't have any proof, you can't use it.
I'd appreciate if you wouldn't object during my closing statement. I didn't.
Overruled. Please continue for now.
Christian Ronaldo.
Whilst, as I said, there's nothing to prove. However, it is of led belief that there is legal materials such as iron, steel, etc., is used in the manufacture of weapons and ammunition. The release of such items, the fact that they were all collaborated together with these illegal items, now I'm not saying in the same safes, but within the same vicinity, would mean that if these legal materials were returned to the Lost MC, there is a very high probability that such weapons and ammunition will be remanufactured and onto the streets of Los Santos. Finally, and just to clarify in terms of the warrant, once the warrant was executed and searched, Group 6 were called in after such warrant had finished in order to transport goods, and as such, no breach of warrant, and Group 6 were not there escorting or assisting in any search. So we would ask the judiciary to look at the case and look at the evidence and facts presented. There's been a number of ammunition and weapons seized throughout, and we ask that these legal materials that have been seized be retained by the police service to ensure that no ammunition and weapons can be produced going forward. Thank you for your time.
Can you head outside,
Thank you,
please?
Mr. Twerz.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Can you
We'll
head
just
outside
take a minute to
and assist the police outlet?
Take a minute to
discuss
wake up.
what's just been said there.
The ODP is now a mining quota.
Yeah, what weapons use diamonds?
Yeah, the most diamond ring.
Yes, me too, sure.
Someone said miners?
Let me slap, oh yeah.
They're just gonna wait for the rush of people.
New way of getting in the police is
Bad.
fucking 2,000 INR.
Just what happens when they call this. Watch your stage and everyone
Gorgeous.
fucking
You don't know.
Then to rank up from a probie, you've got to get level 4 smell.
Please do.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The ODP is now a mining quota.
I'm sorry, that made me laugh.
Avian Solar just standing in the mine with a clipboard counting ore.
I love it.
Ow, I tripped.
Yeah.
G6.
Can I ask what the court's about?
No wonder diamonds are so expensive.
Come with
Rings
the
and stuff.
Avian
These guys are
Solars.
hoarding them all.
New training videos on mining and smelting.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but apparently they're used in the illegal making of weapons.
I'll sell you diamonds when we get them back from the
Look at
police.
that. That looks so fucking good. Now, other people want jewelry as well, so stop
Who
hoarding
wants
diamonds.
to borrow my
please.
pencil? Oh wait, I thought it was. Wait, I forgot. Sorry, it's illegal.
Yeah, they just
You're just inflating the price of diamonds is what you're doing. You know what you're doing.
Is that not what the
market manipulation
jewelries do?
The De Beer Diamond Company, but yeah.
Where you going, BMF?
No, Ed, I do not ever stop talking. Stop messaging me in court, please.
Fucking hell, you've got a hairy chest.
Judge, get your cock.
You're talking to your missus again,
What?
My missus is at home. I brought
Okay,
Jonathan
please
today.
quieten down and we'll hear the verdict.
Right.
This
Thanks
court
for
at
the
the
round,
moment
gentlemen.
has seen no evidence presented
Ow, he just
that
fucking ran me
any
over.
sort of crafting or these materials have been used in any sort of illegal way. That hasn't been proved.
What do you mean? You just took me out.
We're also missing one of the witnesses. I'm certain now that they could not provide anything further to the court, as the information that we wanted is available here. So, for that reason, the 17 warrants that were considered incomplete by court policy, as clearly stated, and the officers authorising were clearly aware. Each individual one is worth £20,000 for the incompletion of them, totalling £340,000, plus the compound raid that was also incomplete due to the after photos were incorrect and or not present. Be worth £50,000, totalling £390,000 as a fine to the police to be paid to the government. Further to that, This court orders the release of the following materials: 4,540 titanium ore, 208 diamonds, 6,560 steel, 3,872 lead ore, 6,943 lead ingots, 3,546 titanium, and 2,028 gold.
Cops in the mud.
That is the award of this court. Thank you,
Today
everybody,
is
for
a
your
landmark
patience.
day.
Up the